Welcome back to Pommyinoz. I hope we're all doing really well. If you are new around here, please smash that like button, give this video a share, and please subscribe. It does mean the world to me. We're slowly getting to 700. It'll be grouse once we get there. So we're talking about St Kilda today, and St Kilda, they had a wonderful 2020, 5th on the ladder, 11 wins, and their mantra with Brad Ratton is just attack, attack, attack. The additions of ex-Richmond players in their off-season in 2021 really add to that string, as we saw last year when Dan Butler came in the side. That Richmond mentality was really infectious in their forward line. They're a tough side to beat, and they blew sides away last year. That intense forward pressure, the fluid ball movement, the handball chains, it's a modern style of football, and few sides can match it. And it's kind of that mentality that we saw with the Doggies and Richmond 2016-2017. They've seen something that works, they've built on it. One thing about them as well is not only are they explosive going forward, defensively they're quite sound, and their midfield just gets on top, and once it stays on top, it's very tough to break down. Perhaps the only vulnerability, though, that we saw last year was teams that played a deep lying forward. We saw implosions. They were their own worst enemy. That North game particular, 30 points ahead, absolutely were destroyed in the back half of that game. And we also saw that towards the end of the year as well, particularly in finals. Teams that look to have that cog early inside 50. That'll be one area of concern for the Saints. It did seem to be ironed out through the grit of the year, and obviously Jake Carlisle was kind of that responsibility as well once he went out. This year, they've recruited really well in the off-season. Another ex-Tiger comes into the side, Jack Higgins. He just adds that. And from what we've seen in pre-season, that forward line looks potent. And as for the vulnerability in the midfield, you've got Brad Crouch there. Brad Crouch is an exceptional user of the football. He finds a lot of it. It relieves pressure. There's not many weaknesses in this side, and they'll look to go one better in 2021. How can they do that in 2021? Well, we did see, as we talked about, their vulnerability. Richmond hurt them. Lynch playing a lot deeper than he usually does. It really did cause a little bit of chaos in that backline of the Saints. That will be an area of concern. We know Carlisle's fit now, and we know they've added some players that will just help them out. They'll look to go one better. This game brand is very fearsome. We saw it in the pre-season. They rolled North Melbourne, and they put on an offensive masterclass against Carlton. When that gets going, few sides can keep. The fact that they've got pace on the outside, they've got grit, determination on the inside, and they've got about 8 or 9 real elite ball users scattered around their lines, make it almost an insurmountable task when they're on. But that's the issue. They are a young side. This is new to them. There is that error that we've seen, the benchmark from Melbourne Demons, that sometimes when you fly up the ladder, you can quickly come back down it. Do I think it will happen with the Saints? Not with Ratton. But that is always an area of concern, and sides will be looking to put St Kilda in their place very early on. They have created a target on their back because of their brand, and that brand relies heavily on ball movement. So intense pressure is coming their way. Can they handle it? I think they can, but 2021, the ultimate goal will be winning the flag, and I don't doubt they can. Big call to win the flag, and let's have a look at some of them players that will help them do it. The first guy we're going to look on, and we've mentioned him already in this video, Jack Higgins, the Richmond player who is a St Kilda lifelong fan, got his desire to come to the Saints, and he fits the ethos. Good forward pressure, creative, and he's also a little goal sneak, isn't he? 16 touches in his career, 3 marks, 2.4 tackles, 0.7 goals. And when you mix that up with the players that they've got there already, particularly the combination of Dan Butler and Higgins, it's tasty. He'll really feed as well on Max King and Membry's crumbs that they feed. He's a creative genius, and it's another string. It makes the defence have things to think of. If you're a defender now against St Kilda, you've got a lot of worries. And Higgins is a kind of a beneficiary of that. We saw what he does with Richmond with their tolls. He lives off them, and when he does, he's a tough player to stop. He likes to drop deep for the ball as well. It's kind of going to be like having 2 Dan Butlers in that side, and we know how dominant that was last year. The other guy is Jack Steele. For me, the most underrated midfielder in the competition. An absolute jet of a player. 21.1 touches, 3.7 marks, 6.6 tackles. and 0.4 goals. And he's a contested bull, but unlike a lot of the contested bulls in the AFL, he's also a creative genius, and he brings players into it. He's got no selfishness about him, and he kind of suits the Ratton ethos, doesn't he? He works hard, he gets his head over the ball, he does the tough stuff, and he's more than happy to offload that to your Billingses and your players of that ilk. And when it happens and he's up and about, St Kilda are a joy to watch. He's got a big role this year, and I think he's finally going to get the kudos. He's my Smokey for the Brownlow. Steele plays an amazing game, it's attractive, and also the fact he slots into the forward line on occasions. He's just a Brownlow dream, really. And the final guy we're going to look at is a guy that impressed me. Now, those who watch me on Blue Abroad, we talked about this guy in the draft, and I said that he was going to be a very underrated pick because of his ACL at the time. And boy, has he proved me wrong. Max King is a phenomenal superstar, and not since Nick Riewoldt have St Kilda had really a poster boy to get up and about and excited about. 7.6 touches last year, 3.2 marks, 1.2 tackles, 1.2 goals, and he combines it all. Good aerial craft, strong, one-on-one, great kick, excellent leading patterns, reads the play well, and he's put on muscle, and he is devastating. Max King is, for me, we're in an actually golden age of AFL key forwards. You've got your Aaron Nortons, you've got your Max Kings, you've got his brother Ben King, you've got Harry McKay, you've got Charlie Kerner, you've got Jamal Ugle-Hagan. We are privileged, and I think we will see a 100-goal kicker coming up in the next 2 years, and Max King would be one of them guys who's putting his hand up and says, you know what, I'm going to be that guy. Absolute phenomenal player. He reads the play well. He's got a midfield that just kicks to his advantage. He's a supreme player, and I expect him to go up another gear in 2021. I reckon he'll be top 3 goal kickers and 50 plus next year. Look out. They'll believe they can grab the flag, and what rightly so, but I think the warning of the demons will always ring true in their ears, and Ratton will want to make sure that they're acquitted and believe in this game plan and apply themselves at all opportunity. The pressure around the lines is good, and I think they'll cement themselves this year as a perennial final side. That should be the minimum expectation of the Saints. They play a brand of footy that blows away sides, and particularly for finals, they play this style. You know, teams are tentative. They go all or nothing. It's going to be tough. Very little weaknesses around their side. I have them 4th to 8th. And I'm looking forward to watching the Saints game. Ratton makes these guys awesome to watch. That's St Kilda then. Let me know what you think. If you are a Saints fan, do you back yourselves in to win the final? You must do. If you're not, do you see them? Do you think they could do with Demons? Or do you back them in for the 8? Let me know. Pom out.